Hey YouTube, this is the Robinhood Investor. Hope you had a great week of trading. As always, I really appreciate your support. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to learn more investing, subscribe to this channel. Today I'm going to talk about my portfolio, which is currently at $284,715, cash position of $566. I do have another $30,000 in cash to be deployed into the market when I find some good positions. Make sure you stick to the end of the video for what I'm going to buy. Scrolling down a bit, taking a look at my portfolio, you can see I have one Ethereum in my Robinhood account. This makes up 0.56% portfolio, or $1,595. I'm up 150% on this position. I do have more in my Coinbase GDAX account, but this is all I have in my Robinhood account. Next is Vanguard Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, which tracks 500 largest U.S. companies. It's an index fund that's like fairly diversified in the U.S. market. Makes a 5.61% portfolio, or $15,943, up 45% on this position. So if you don't want to manage your portfolio and want to have exposure to U.S. markets, S&P 500 is a great way to diversify your exposure. Next is Vanguard Info Technology ETF, which tracks some of the largest technology companies in the U.S. Makes a 5.83% portfolio, or $16,564, up 157% on this position. Apple, which is my largest stock position. They make computers, iPhones, iPads, tablets. They're also growing in their services, such as iCloud and Apple Music and Apple TV. Also in the wearable space, like Apple Watch, as well as earpods. This makes up 11.92% portfolio, or $33,864, up 280% on this position. And great thing about Apple, it also pays out a dividend, so it's a solid dividend growth stock. Next is Nvidia, which makes GPU chips. Makes up 8.74% portfolio, or $24,834, up 268% on this position. And I do believe with Nvidia being dominant in the GPU market, alongside with AMD, I think they'll continue to dominate in the long term. And they are big not just in computing, like games, but also cars, as well as other high processing computers, as well as data center business. So a lot of different verticals where they're growing. Next is Amazon, which is big in e-commerce, as well as cloud computing, Amazon Web Services. And recently they made a big move into the healthcare space in the acquisition of One Medical, which is in primary care. This makes up 7% portfolio, or $19,915. I'm up 16.84% on this position. I do plan to continue to add more Amazon to my portfolio, just because I think it's like the backbone of the internet with their cloud computing services, and as well as e-commerce. Very good way to get into the retail, online e-tail space. Next is Microsoft, which is in the enterprise solutions space. They provide Azure, cloud computing, as well as Office 365, and also in the gaming business like Xbox. This makes up 6.66% portfolio, or $18,921, up 189% on this position. Alphabet Class A shares, which has voting rights. Majority of the revenue is in online advertising. This makes up 3.04% portfolio, or $8,640, up 110% on this position. And with Snapchat, you can see that's a similar competitor. They're in the same industry with online advertising. Snapchat, on the other hand, dropped about 40%. You could take a look at that ticker, Snap, very volatile. You can see the downward trend, down 86% past year. I don't have any in this position, but yeah, I think it's that's a start to seeing how online ads are doing, but I think Alphabet long term will continue to do well with many other products, such as YouTube, Gmail, search, their core businesses. They incorporate a lot of advertising into each of the products. And I think even though Snapchat did not do well, Alphabet Class A shares continues to dominate in market share. Alphabet Class C shares, this makes a 2.43% portfolio, or $6,896, up 103% on this position. I might add some more to my Google position. Visa, which is in the payment processing space, makes up 4.8% portfolio, or $13,869, up 81% on this position. Next is Johnson & Johnson, which is in the healthcare space, consumer health, pharmaceuticals, and medical devices. This makes up 3.51% portfolio, or $9,981, up 32% on this position. Next is United Health, which is in the healthcare space as well. Makes up 3.49% portfolio, or $9,905, up 201% on this position. Next is Meta Platforms, also very volatile ever since Snapchat reported earnings, or even before that, but I do think Meta Platforms will continue to do well with Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus Rift. I think it's a long-term play, and it's currently undervalued. Makes up 3.46% portfolio, or $9,835, down 9% on this position. Might add more Meta Platforms to my portfolio. Next is Tencent, which is a Chinese technology company in financial services, gaming, social media. They make a lot of apps based in China. This makes a 2.85% portfolio, $8,103, down 13% on this position. So Tencent, I'm down on this position, but I don't plan to continue to add more to my portfolio just because I think the international markets are very volatile at this moment, and I'd rather get more exposure to the US market. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, which fabricates chips for computing. This makes up 2.67% portfolio, or $7,589, 1.66% from a position. Next is McDonald's, which is a restaurant chain. Makes up 2.68% portfolio, or $7,616, 58% on this position. Another solid dividend stock. Next is Costco, which is in the membership, warehousing, retail space. Makes up 2.61% portfolio, or $7,416, 112%. Costco tends to release their sales every month, and they continue to do well, and you can see that's reflected in their stock price. Alibaba, which is another Chinese technology company, but in the e-commerce space and also web services, makes up 2.51% portfolio, or $7,135, down 41% on this position. I don't plan to continue to add more just because I think Chinese and emerging markets stocks are very volatile at this point. Next is Mercado Libre, which is online retail for Latin America, which includes Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. This makes up 2.11% portfolio, or $5,995, down 31% on this position. I do plan to continue adding more Mercado Libre just because I think it's undervalued. And there's a lot of potential upside. Home Depot in the home improvement space makes up 2.02% portfolio, or $5,741, up 95% on this position. Next is Brochar Hathaway. Makes up 1.91% portfolio, or $5,428, up 51% on this position. Berkshire Hathaway is Warren Buffett's company, a holding company that includes Apple, Bank of America, American Express, among other partially owned as well as wholly owned companies. Next is Boeing, which is in the aerospace industry. Makes up 1.61% or 67% portfolio, or $4,736, down 29% on this position. I might liquidate this position just because it hasn't been really doing well, and I think with things going remote, Travel is a bit limited, but yeah, I think there's a new normal of less travel. And if it were to be traveling, it's more for vacation, not so much for business, but we'll see how Boeing does in the long term. But I'm considering selling this position. PayPal, which is in the payment processing fintech space, makes a 1.55% portfolio or $4,392, down 28% on this position. Next is Shopify, which is another online retail stock. Makes a 1.4% portfolio or $3,987, down 57% on this position. So even though I'm down by a lot for Shopify, I do plan to continue holding long term. Might add more to my position just because I think it's oversold. And with a lot of businesses of very different sizes, small, medium, large, they do continue to add more customers to their client base, trying to have an online presence. And not everyone wants to go on Amazon, so Shopify is a great tool to do that. Next is Crowdstrike, which is in cybersecurity. Makes up 1.41% portfolio or $4,004, up 21% on this position. I do plan to continue to add more to my Crowdstrike position just because I think with everything going online, cybersecurity is the next thing to invest in, to make sure that it's secure to use that company or business. Disney, which is in the entertainment industry. They include parks and in-person, a lot of entertainment, like cruises. They also have a direct-to-consumer app for Disney Plus. I think that'll continue to grow with their a lot of new content coming down the pipeline, including some of Marvel's and Star Wars. Yeah, very highly recognized, strong brands. Makes up 1.24% portfolio or $3,511, down 7.75% on this position. Actually, like Disney more than Netflix. Next is Atmt, which reported earnings, didn't do too well, but you can see it didn't do too well 5 years. Makes up 1.2% on this position or $3,420, down 46% on this position. Next is Block, which is the parent company of Square. They also have the Cash App. Makes a 1.16% portfolio or $3,303, down 57% on this position. Probably won't add more to my position, but I'll hold long term. Next is Adobe, which is a lot of creative solutions, solutions for creators, artists. Makes a 1.16% portfolio or $3,280, down 16% on this position. Next, Era Energy, which makes up 1.02% portfolio or $2,889, down 83% on this position. Next is the Trade Desk, which is in the online advertising space. It's not doing too well this past year, but I'll continue holding long term. Makes up 0.5% portfolio or $1,410, up 33% on this position. Twilio, which is in the communication services, using web services, APIs, makes up 0.37% portfolio or $1,059, down 63% on this position. Don't plan to continue adding more to Twilio, but I'll continue to hold. Teladoc, telehealth solution company, makes up 0.4% portfolio or $1,129, down 55% on this position. So I think that the addressable market is pretty big with the telehealth space, and even with Amazon jumping into it, I think there's still opportunity for growth. So I do plan to continue to hold long term, but don't plan to continue adding more to Teladoc. Baozun, which is a Shopify of China, makes up 0.43% portfolio or $1,217, down 70% on this position. So that's all the stocks in my portfolio. You can see that it continues to grow week after week, and I do plan to continue adding more to my cash position so that I can deploy when there's opportunities to buy. And I'm going to buy some more into my existing positions, mostly in high growth stocks which means it's higher risk, but I think there's potential for upside. So plan to continue to add more to my cash and stocks and hold for the long term. That's all for this video. What are your thoughts on these stocks, and what are you holding? Comment down below. Remember to use my referral links below, and both of us get $20 for using personal capital or free stock for using Robinhood. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to learn more investing, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.